Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Prajahati gives up, yada, when, kaman, desires for sense gratification, sarvan, of all varieties, Partha, O son of Pritha, Managatan, of mental concoction, Atmani, in the pure state of the soul, Eva, certainly, Atmana, by the purified mind, Tushtaha, satisfied, Stita Pragyaha, transcendentally situated, Tada, at that time, Uchate is said. Translation. The Blessed Lord said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate authority on what is right and what is wrong, or what is good and what is bad, or what is enjoyable. He determines what's enjoyable, but ignoring him, we concoct our own ideas on what's enjoyable. And then we make a whole civilization based on these things, just like animal slaughter. How can that be enjoyable? What's enjoyable about slaughtering innocent animals and then cutting them up and eating them? It's horrendous. But we have completely disregarded the wishes of the Supreme Lord and created a whole civilization based on such grotesque activities, and we call it enjoyment. We advertise it, we put it to music. We create a whole civilization around such things. This is not sense enjoyment, this is a kind of madness. And it's not only slaughtering animals, everything that we do that is in excess to what the Lord arranges or the Lord prescribes for us is madness. It's like the doctor prescribes, take 2 tablets and in 6 months you'll be all right. We think, why should I wait 6 months? It's ridiculous. I have so many things to do, I have so many places to go and enjoy. 2 tablets, 6 months, let's see, 180 days times 2, 360. If I take 360, I'll be done in 1 day. So he takes 360 pills in 1 day. And he thinks this is enjoyment. He thinks, I'm outsmarting the doctor, outsmarting the world. I'm going to enjoy myself quicker. I don't have to wait 6 months. The result is horrendous. That's what we're doing. That's what the whole world is doing in sense gratification, completely forgetting the Lord, completely disregarding His advice as if He knows nothing, as if He doesn't exist. And we call it happiness. We have to understand this, because otherwise how can we give it up? As long as we're caught up in the illusion, in the madness, like everyone else, then we won't give it up because we think we're enjoying. So Krishna is very soberly, gently, intelligently saying you have to give up these things that are sense gratification, which is produced by speculation. What does he say? Read the translation.
O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness.
And Krishna, the Param Brahman, the Supreme Spirit, explains throughout the Vedas, Bhagavad-Gītā, all the transcendental literatures, what is our duty, how we'll be happy, how we'll create a nice civilization, how we'll be free from suffering, and we disregard it. So that is the beginning of our suffering, of our misery, that we disregard. Krishna Bhayar Mukahana Bhogavanchakari Nikatasta Mayatari Japatiyatari. The living entity turns his face away from the Lord, and then he gets sent to the material world. Mayatari Japatiyatari, he's slapped by Maya. Because he's rejected the Lord, he's rejected Krishna, but Krishna is so kind, he gives him a place to stay and takes care of his necessities. But the great opportunity is, although the living entities seem lost, they're entrapped, they're drowning in the ocean of material miseries, and there's no way for them to get out. Or another example is, if someone falls into a blind well, he's 100 feet down in a blind well and no one's there can hear him. He's lost, he's ruined. But when the spiritual master comes and throws down the line and says, just hold on, and by the grace, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach, by the grace of Guru and Krishna, one can get pulled out of this horrible condition. No other way. Not by speculating, not by writing letters, not by doing so many things. It won't get us out of this condition. Therefore, the spiritual master is considered such an essential feature in spiritual life, because without his intervening on our behalf, we're lost. Therefore, one should take it very seriously. This Krishna consciousness movement, things like this don't happen by accident. A movement like this that gives one the opportunity of engaging in pure devotional service, gives one the opportunity to understand himself and the purpose of life and how to get out of the suffering. And so one should take full advantage of it. Purport?
The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendentally situated has no good qualifications, because he is sure to be taking refuge in his own mental concoctions.
How can he have good qualities? He's disregarding the supreme goodness, the supreme pure person, pavitram idam uttamam, supremely pure. Arjuna describes in Bhagavad-Gītā, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. You're the Supreme Personality of God, the Supreme Brahman, the purest, the source of all the demigods. And we disregard him, thinking that we're very intelligent, that we don't need his advice. We should accept whatever he says immediately, without question. Why do we think we know something? What is our credit? What is our learning? How does it compare to Krishna? But yet we are so arrogant, thinking we know something. We've read a few books, we've speculated, and we're very proud. But that pride will cause us to remain in this material world for many lifetimes. We shouldn't waste this opportunity we have to join the Sankirtan movement. The Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangascha Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Sumedasa. Describes the incarnation for the age of Kali as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is accompanied by his associates and who perform Sankirtan, and those who have sufficient brain substance will join this Sankirtan movement and very easily get out of the suffering of material existence. We think we have so many other things to do, we have to accomplish this and we have to do that. But the really intelligent person realizes this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Self-realization, atato brahma jigyasa. I have no other business. My life is short, I don't know how long I'm going to live. Therefore I should take it as seriously as I possibly can. And if I'm not serious, if I'm whimsical, then I should pray to the Lord and to the Vaishnavas to please grant me some mercy and intelligence so I can take it more seriously.
Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction. Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous efforts.
The mental speculators, they're more advanced than the fruit of workers and the karmis. So they see the senselessness, the foolishness of engaging in material activities. That's their credit. But they think that by speculating they'll figure out, okay, now I'll just stop all these activities. Why should I do them? But how will they stop activities? It's the nature of the soul to be active. It's the nature of the soul to have relationships. It's the nature of the soul to enjoy. Anandamoya Vyasat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is full of bliss and ananda, and all the living entities are like him, parts and parcels. So how can you possibly stop all these desires? They try to stop desiring, and they fail. Whereas if one purifies the desires and desires what the Lord wants, and his desire is so great for everyone, for every individual, if we dovetail our desire with his desire, we'll achieve much more than we could have by trying to fulfill our foolish little desire. We can go much higher, go much faster, achieve much greater things. Look what happens. Anyone who surrenders to the Lord, their desires that they had are fulfilled 1 billion times over. Look at Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj had what was considered to be an amazingly big ambition. He wanted to get a kingdom superior to Brahma and his father and his grandfather. You could say that was an impossible dream. How could he surpass Brahma? But he had that desire, and he was just a child. But Narad Muni turned him, said, wait a minute. All right, you want to attain all these things, you're so upset about being insulted by your stepmother. Okay, the only person who can give this to you, to give you an award like this, is the Supreme Lord. So you chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and you perform this austerities and meditate upon him, and if he's pleased with you, he can give you. So Dhruva Maharaj did that. And in 6 months, the Lord revealed himself before Dhruva. And he said, my dear child, I'm pleased with you. You followed Narad Muni's instructions. You've been performing these great austerities. What can I do for you? I know you have some desire. What would you like? By that purification, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, he became so purified that he realized the foolishness of his desire, and he said, I was desiring pieces of broken glass. But now I've attained you, I don't care for the glass because you're the most valuable diamond. But the Lord said, no, I know you had a desire. So he gave him the planet, the pole star. Pole star planet is a spiritual planet in the material universe. It's impossible. But he got it. And the examples go on and on. So if we just surrender to Krishna's desire for us, we're thinking, you have to look out for number one. I have to look out for myself. Nobody's going to take care of me. But Krishna's taking care of everyone. And when one surrenders to Krishna, then Krishna gives him all abundance of gifts, far beyond what he could possibly imagine. So many examples. So that's what we should be striving for. We're afraid to give up. If I give up my desires, what will I have? Then I'll just become some kind of a mindless robot following some leader. I'm afraid to lose my individuality, my zeal, my passions. No, you don't have to give up your passions, your individuality, your desires. Just purify them and use them in the service of Krishna, the way he wants. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Become an instrument in his hands. If someone wants to be a famous musician, but his music teacher says, for now you should perform in the orchestra. You mean the orchestra? There's 60 people in the orchestra. How am I going to become famous in the orchestra? I want to perform on my own. I want to be solo. He says, no, for now, just perform in the orchestra. So he does that, and if he does it sincerely and purely, then he'll be recognized. And all of his desires will be fulfilled in a wonderful way. No devotee ever laments, oh, I surrendered to Krishna and I lost everything and now I'm broken, I'm a broken man, I'm a broken woman. Even the gopis, the gopis are the topmost devotees. They gave up everything for Krishna. They gave up their prestige, their families, their comforts, going out into the forest in the dead of night. It was fearful. They gave up their children, everything for Krishna. But they don't feel that they lost anything, but rather they gained everything. So we should follow in the footsteps, Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta. Follow in the footsteps of the great devotees who've shown us the path of giving up material desires and surrendering to Krishna. And don't be afraid. Arjuna is another one. He had many desires to be a saintly person. Instead, Krishna said, don't worry about being a saintly person, just do what I say. And he did it, and now he's famous as a saintly person. Arjuna is considered a great devotee, the best devotee. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetaduttamam. Qualified to receive the highest knowledge.
Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation, for this devotional service will instantly help one onto the platform of transcendental consciousness. The highly developed soul always remains satisfied in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. Such a transcendentally situated person has no sense desires resulting from petty materialism. Rather, he remains always happy in his natural position of eternally serving the Supreme Lord.
That's our natural position. Everybody will agree that when you do something natural, the natural way, just like we have all of our advertisements, this is purely natural, grown without any GMOs and this and that, it's natural water, natural food. We like that. We want natural things. So why don't we live that, why don't we practice it? We say natural. Is it natural to abort your children? Is it natural to have slaughterhouses? What's natural about these things? Is it natural to become totally obsessed with obnoxious sex desire? Is that natural? Are clubs and casinos, someone works, tries to maintain his family in an honest way, and then he goes to a casino, loses everything, the family's ruined. Is this natural? Having guns, shooting everyone shooting everyone. Is this natural? What kind of natural society are we creating here? And we keep going. We don't have any idea where we're going. Andha yatandar upaniyamana tepisha tantriyam badha. The leaders are blind, and they're leading other blind people, and everyone's falling into the ditch. And still we go on, mindlessly following along the same system, plugging in. Yes, sir, I'm ready to go. Whatever these blind leaders want me to do, I'll do. No. Krishna says no. Krishna's representative says no. Don't follow. Say no to all these nonsense things and follow Krishna instead. That's what we're advised to do. That's what Bhagavad-Gītā is all about. It's a revolution. Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada quoted the verse. This Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to create a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. It's a revolutionary movement. Of course, it will ruffle some feathers. It'll rock the boat. We have to expect that. But if you want to get out of this catastrophe, this is the only way to get out. Otherwise, just go along, you go right off the cliff. So we have to be a little bold. Spiritual life is for the bold. But Krishna says, do not fear, do not hesitate, do not worry. If you surrender to me, I'll protect you from all sinful reactions. Don't worry, others may say, there's a nice verse. Let's see, who's it by? Bilvamangal Thakur, perhaps? He says, I don't know if I can remember the Sanskrit. Mugdam mam nigadantu nityanitama Branta mahur vaidika mandam bandava sanchaya jadadiya muktadara sodaraha unmatam danino viveka chatura sambandham, etc. He says, some people may say that I'm far too proud, some people may say that I'm misled, some people may say I'm mad, some people may say so many things. But still, despite all whatever they say, my mind does not budge an inch from serving the lotus feet of Govinda. This is a valuable lesson. People may say that we're misled, people may say that we're foolish, we're proud. But still the devotee, he has confidence in Krishna's lotus feet. By taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, Samashrita ye parapallava plavam mahatpadam punya yasho marare pavambudir vatsapadam padam padam yadvi padam natesham. The Lord's feet are like lotus petals, like little boats, and when you take shelter of such lotus petal feet, then the whole ocean of material existence shrinks to the amount of water contained in a calf's hoof print, and one can very easily cross it. So it becomes easy once we surrender to Krishna's lotus feet. And if we try to do it on our own, figure it out, create our own society, make our own program, we'll be bewildered. Because the material energy, Daivihesha gunamai mamamaya duratya, it's very difficult to get out of the material energy. She's perfectly equipped to bewilder us at every step. She's got lust, anger, greed. She has all kinds of servants. Kamadinam, Katina, Katida, Palita, Durnideja. All the bad masters. Envy. She's got everything there. Her assistance, and she's using it to bewilder us. Where will you go? How will you get free? You go to the mountains. I'll go to the mountains. I'll go to the forest and I'll just meditate and I'll be free. But your mind is already polluted. Your mind is already steeped in material thoughts since time immemorial. Your false ego is firmly set. You think you're this body. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm an American, I'm an Indian, this, that. How will you get free from that? We can do it by chanting. But chanting alone is also not recommended. Dushtamana tumikishar Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. What kind of Vaishnava are you? For cheap adoration you go in a secluded place and try to chant. But this is all cheating. Kevala Kaitava. It's all cheating because I'm still thinking of sense gratification. I still want to be recognized. I still want to be famous. Therefore Lord Chaitanya said, Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamai mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatat bhaktiro hoituki tvai. This is the requirement. Lord Chaitanya only wrote 8 verses. Every Vaishnava should know those 8 verses. Nadanam, my Lord, I don't desire wealth. I don't janam or followers. I don't want to be famous. Sundarim, I don't want to have beautiful wife, beautiful women, or handsome husband or man or whatever. Not even liberation. I just want to be engaged in your devotional service, birth after birth. This is what it takes. If you wanted something cheaper than that, you may say, well, it's difficult to give these things up. Yeah, it is difficult to give these things up. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya, Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurati Shenma. The most merciful incarnation, he's given us the easy process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. All we have to do is chant. And then it becomes easy. Then we realize how foolish we were trying to get sense gratification in this material world. When it's a place of suffering, dukkhalayam shashvatam. We're trying to enjoy in a holocaust. That's our foolishness. We're thinking this holocaust, it's like a foolish person, he thinks, oh, it's so calm. Just see, it's so calm today. I'm really going to enjoy myself. But he doesn't know that that calm is the calm before a hurricane. Hurricane's coming in a few hours and he's thinking, I'm going to have a great time today. But he doesn't know what's coming. So the spiritual master tells us, the Shastras tell us, Guru Shastra Sadhu, Mahajano Yena Kata Sapada, they advise us, the hurricane is just on the way. It's just about to come. And if we think, no, I don't need your advice, I can do it myself. Okay. That's our choice. Any questions?
I read this quote by Sachi Nandana Maharaj a while back, and he said that one's spiritual life can't actually begin until he hits rock bottom. So I was hoping you could explain that.
It doesn't mean you have to go to the out to the clubs and hit rock bottom before you can surrender to Krishna. Doesn't mean that. Otherwise we should all go out. We may think, well, there's many things. I didn't hit rock bottom. I still got a long way to go. Let me go out and hit rock bottom, then I'll come back. No, that's not what it means. Akinchana gochara, but it does mean that Queen Kunti says, Janmaishvarya Shuti Shribir Edamana Vadak Paman Naivar Hatyabad Hatavai Toma Kinchana gochara. One has to hit rock bottom with this understanding that my birth is not, I may be born in a great country like America or a respectable family, Brahmin family or rich family or good looking. I may have education, I may have good birth, good country, citizenship, I've got a good passport, I'm wealthy, I'm good looking. No, that is useless. That has to be completely discarded. That's the rock bottom. These things are useless. They're not going to help me surrender to Krishna at all. And he makes those things null and void. When Sanatana Goswami approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took pieces of grass, straws in his teeth, and he bowed down completely. And he was the prime minister of the country. He had just resigned from being the prime minister of the country. He was fabulously wealthy. He was born in a very high-class Brahmin family. He was vastly learned. He was known as a pundit, greatly learned person. He was young. He had all the opulences. He said, I have nothing. Because I don't even know who I am. I'm taking shelter of you, my dear Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm your servant. Please instruct me what I must do. What is my duty? That's hitting rock bottom. When we realize that all these so-called wonderful assets are completely burdens. If you want to cross a river and you want to hold on to a bag full of stones weighing 100 pounds, how will you do it? How will you swim across? You have to give them up. Say, I have nothing, now I have to go across without these things. So that's what it means. We have to give up being attached to any of these things. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparadvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktirutama. Pure devotional service means getting free from all these false designations. I'm this, I'm that. Okay. Any other?
End of the purport.
Read the next text.
One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of a steady mind. Purport.
Let's read that again together.
One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
This is a guideline how to live life. Read it again, please.
One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries.
Threefold miseries. Adi Bhautikam, Adi Yatmikam, Adi Daivatam. Miseries inflicted by other living entities. Miseries inflicted by nature. And miseries inflicted by my mind and myself. Everyone's afflicted by these threefold miseries. But if one is steady, in spite of it, it's so reassuring to find out that this material world is not our home. It's so reassuring to find out that this is not a place of happiness. Because if you think it's a place of happiness, you're on the way to becoming very disturbed, because you'll be upset, because things won't go the way you want them to go for your sense enjoyment. A man was on his deathbed at the age of 56, very wealthy Kanpur businessman, and he was telling the doctors told him he was going to die very soon. He said, "But I have a lot of money and I have many plans. Can you not give me 4 more years to fulfill my plans?" No. Disappointment. Pa ba pa ma pa. Pa ba pa pa ba pa ma. Pavitra. Pavarga. Pavarga means material existence. Hard work, then foam at the mouth, then frustration, fear and death. And apavarga means counteracting all these. Apavarga is the path of devotional service. It's not hard work, no foam at the mouth, working like a horse or a dog. Simple life, happy life. The devotees don't have to work so hard. 12 hours, 14 hours. And their work, if you call it work, actually it's enjoyable for them. It's all play. When the devotee's cleaning the floor, he's not thinking, I went to college for this, for cleaning floors. He's thinking, this is wonderful. I'm doing this. Krishna is so kindly giving me this opportunity to purify my heart and engage in this nice exercise and think of Him and be with Him, and he's thinking, this is wonderful. He's not thinking that this is a drudgery. It's like you may have experience if you had one of your parents or one of your elderly relatives, and you were a child, and she said, okay, so now I want to see who can go around and find the most papers and trash on the floor and bring it and put it in a pile here. Okay, go. And the children ran around and they were picking up all the trash and putting in piles. The children thought it was a game, but she was getting the whole place cleaned up. So they learned how to clean the place and at the same time enjoy. Lord Chaitanya did that when he was cleaning the Gundicha temple. He was personally there cleaning, and he said, all my devotees, I want you all to clean this temple because it's the temple of the Lord. So we have to make sure it's completely clean. There's not even one speck of dirt. And I will ask you all to put the dirt that you collect in a pile, and we'll compare and see who has the most. So they did that. And Lord Chaitanya appreciated them, and he collected more than all of them put together. But so Lord Chaitanya is showing how to clean the temple. It's not for Shudras. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's none other than Shyamasundar himself, he's cleaning the temple with his own cloth and his own tears. He was in so much ecstasy, tears were flowing from his eyes, and he thought, okay, I'll use this for cleaning. So what kind of work is that? That's ecstasy. The more he cleaned, the more tears were flowing and more ecstasy was in. So the devotees don't have to work very hard. They're not in stress and anxiety about their retirement, their sunset years, and this and that, and how they're going to do. Krishna takes care of it, leaves it up to Krishna. Any other discussion points? Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, there are quite a few readers, users, followers of Bhagavad-Gītā. They say, I will be like Arjuna, just do my job. Maybe God sent me here to do certain specific job. I will do it, and I think that's it. I'll be a good human being, help others, think about God, and I just leave everything to Him. Is that a bona fide way of spiritual path?
But the thing is, we don't know what God wants us to do until we contact one of His confidential representatives. It's nice to think that I want to do what God wants me to do. I have a mission. But we don't make up that mission. That mission has to be given to us through the disciplic succession. That's the system. So you have a mission and you have a wonderful future, but you have to find out what it is from the disciplic succession, from the representatives of Krishna. Otherwise, if we try to serve Krishna on our own without being properly guided, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Akantike Harer Bhaktir Utpata Eva Kalpate. We can't speculate and make up our own devotional service. We have to be guided by that's what happened with Arjuna. He tried to figure it out himself, and he was a very brilliant person. Royal family, fathers Indra, mothers Kunti. Who could have a better situation? But then he said, Karpanya dosha pata svabhava prachchami dharma samudacheta yatshriyan nishitam bruhitam me shishas teyam shadimam tvam prapanam. I'm completely bewildered trying to figure out what I should do, what's right for me, what my duty is. Now I surrender to you, accept me as your disciple, and please instruct me. That was the turning point of Bhagavad-Gītā. Before that, he was lost. So you may be very intelligent, you may have good intentions, but how will you know unless you hear from Krishna or Krishna's representative? He'll tell us what our duty is. He'll tell us how we can serve Krishna. Read a little more.
The word muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. It is said that every muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a muni differs from other munis, he cannot be called a muni in the strict sense of the term. Naso manir yasya matam nabinam.
So many books. Everybody's writing new books, starting new religions, new societies, new philosophies, new theories. Everyone's a muni. Everyone has his own opinion. And we're taught like that. We're taught that you don't just go along with everybody, you have to come up with your own view. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and He's already given the conclusion. He's explained exactly what our duties are. he has the supreme philosophy, Bhagavad-Gītā. So why do we need to have so many other books competing? Trying to write our own. You can't imitate Krishna. There's a story Prabhupada tells about a man, a king. He had his minister, he said, "Can you write one Mahabharata about me?" So the minister said, "Yes, give me some money and I'll prepare it." So he gave him some money. And after some time the king said, "So, is it ready?" He said, No, I need some more money. It's not easy to prepare a Mahabharata for you. So this went on and on for a long time, and he gave him so much money. Finally he said, "Okay, that's it. I want my Mahabharata. I've paid you so much now." And the minister said, "Yes, okay. First thing is, answer me one question." He said, "Yes, what's that?" "How many husbands does your wife have?" He became furious. "What? You're asking how many husbands my queen has?" And he said, "You wanted a Mahabharata, so Draupadi had 5 husbands. So how many husbands does your wife have?" He says, "Oh, forget this Mahabharata." So we can't imitate. Krishna has already spoken Bhagavad-Gītā. We don't need somebody else to speak another Bhagavad-Gītā. A better one. A more suited for our times, for the 21st century Bhagavad-Gītā. You ready? Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad-Gītā ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai.